let's get started. It's a couple of minutes, but I think people would be logged on by now, so let's get into it. So today's class is part of what will be a 4-part batch of classes or series focusing on exploring and sort of embodying the elements. And for those of you who have delved into Ayurveda a little bit, hopefully this is a new way that you can kind of experience and explore the actual practical experience of the elements in relation to our health and well-being and your own self-health management. So today we're going to be exploring air and ether together. And this is kind of a fun one because air and ether is, it's movement. It's that wind element that creates movement within our body and in our mind as well. The space element is that openness, vastness that everything kind of exists within. And within our health and well-being, it's also the elements, they're the two elements that really support creativity and playfulness, open-mindedness, lightness. So we're going to look at ways to try and experience those elements within our body and in our mind, so that we can identify them and have an awareness of them when we're off the mat, because those elements in particular, we can be cruising along throughout the day and having a really great, fun, creative day. And then we might ride that creativity a little too far over a period of days, or maybe even over 24 hours, and find ourselves a little bit highly strung or tipping into that higher end of the spectrum where we're experiencing air and ether in excess, which can lead to nervousness and anxiety and insomnia and not being able to settle ourselves. So that sweet spot is when you're feeling just enough air and ether that you feel open, creative, and light. But if we overdo it without enough complementary grounding practice, then yeah, we can start to head into that higher end of the spectrum where things get toward imbalance. So we also have a saying in the healing realm, you've got to feel it to heal it. And what I have found in trying to introduce my clients to Ayurveda over the years is that it's all good and well to talk about the elements and all these feelings and experiences, but sometimes it's just theory and conceptual, and it's hard for people to actually practically go, well, what does that actually feel like? So I'm hoping that through our asana practices over the next few weeks, you can start to feel some of these varieties of gunas or experiences so that you get familiar with it, and then you can start to work with it off the mat as well.
Right.
Okay,
Yes.
so we'll get started by grounding. So just sitting with your legs and hips relaxed. Close your eyes, shoulders down away from your ears. And relax. Just starting to become present wherever you are by noticing the sounds around you. Some of those sounds might be close by. And some of those sounds might be a little further away.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean.
Just switching off our mics if you don't mind. And sound is actually one of the sensory or senses that hearing and sound is actually connected to air. No, ether, sorry. And then starting to become aware of the sensation of touch by taking one hand to your heart center. Noticing the sensation of your hands resting on your body, one hand on the heart and one hand on the knee. Noticing the sensations occurring in your palms. Noticing the feeling of the air on your skin and clothes resting on your body. And just noticing the breath traveling in through your nose, down your throat, and into your lungs. Just experiencing it first as a sensation. And starting to become aware of the experience of breathing, of your lungs expanding as you inhale, and your lungs softening and contracting as you exhale. Now taking your other hand to your belly. And really just settling your awareness into the natural flow of your breath. Breathing into your palms. Inhaling to expand. Exhaling, softly contracting through your belly. Now starting to inhale for the count of 4. And exhaling for the count of 4. Inhaling for 4. Exhaling for 4. And just continuing in this way, inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 4. Trying to create a nice relaxed balance of duration between the inhalation and the exhalation. I'm doing 2 more rounds. Exhaling completely. And on the next round, we'll add the mantra Goranga for the entire length of our exhalation. Inhale. And say the sound. Goranga. Inhale. Goranga. Continuing on in this way. Inhale. Goranga. Inhale. Goranga. 2 more times. Goranga. Last time, inhale. Goranga. Relax into your regular breathing pattern. Release your hands to your knees. And you can just open your eyes for a moment. We're going to practice a mudra before we get into our practice. So we're going to practice the Vayu mudra. So it's specifically for helping to balance the life airs. So if you bring your index fingers down on both hands and tuck it right in nearly to the base of your thumb, and then wrap your thumb around the index finger, tucking it right in and extending into those other remaining fingers. And then we're going to place our hands down, resting comfortably on our knees. And just continuing to breathe for about another minute or so. Typically, mudras are practiced for 15-minute blocks, up to 30 minutes is the ideal. We're just going to do the beginner's version. So we'll do about a minute or so at the beginning of our practice, and we'll come back to it at the end of our practice as well. So really just taking some time here to breathe and relax. And again, just getting nice and grounded in your body. Really letting go of anything that's happened throughout the day, anything going on around you. Just taking this time for yourself, away from all of your external happenings. Seeing if you can really indulge in nice, full, deep breaths. Nowhere else to go, nowhere else to be. All right, 2 more nice full body breaths. Feeling your whole body, inhale and exhale. That full expansion and contraction of your lungs. And then when you're ready, slowly opening your eyes, taking some circles with your hands and wrists, releasing that mudra, and taking your hands to the front of your knees. We're going to rotate our upper body around, starting with some small circles and gradually moving into some larger circles. And come back to center and do the same in the opposite direction, starting small, gradually building up into larger circles. Beautiful. And come back to center. Then inhale. I'm going to move to the side so you can see the view. And walking your hands forward, grounding your hips down into the floor as you walk your hands forward, and then slowly lower your forehead down toward your mat. Try to let go and relax. And walking the hands back. And taking your hands back, doing a little stretch into your shoulders with your feet out in front and your fingers facing down toward your heels. Bend through the elbows as you drop back into your shoulders until you feel a stretch right through the front of your shoulder here. So now we're nice and connected with our breath, hopefully grounded and present in our body. And such a nice way to set up for our practice. And slowly lift. Lifting up, and then we'll take it over from side to side. One more time each way. And the other side. Excellent. Come back up to center. And then come over onto all fours. And carefully lower your chest and your belly down to the floor. Take your hands underneath your shoulders, elbows working in toward your ribs, straightening out through your legs. Inhale, peeling your head and chest up off the floor into a baby cobra. Exhale, lower down. Moving with your breath, inhale, lift. Exhale, and starting to go a little bit higher each time. Inhale, lift. Press the palms into the floor. Exhale. Now, if you can, coming all the way up into cobra. So your elbows are working into your ribs. I'm going to take the gaze up, opening up through the heart center, through the throat area, holding there for a few breaths. Shoulders down away from your ears. And exhale, slowly lowering your chest to the floor again. Tuck the knees to the floor and tuck the toes under, bringing your hips to your heels, forehead to the floor, and stretching out into a variation of child's pose. And then from here, inhale, lifting up into a modified downward dog, bending through your knees, having a look at your hands and checking that your fingers and thumbs are spread nice and wide. Press the floor away with your palms and lift in through your spine, lifting into your hips, and start to walk your dog, alternating, lifting and lowering your heels, going from side to side. Drawing in through your belly. Good. And inhale, raise both heels out straight and through the leg, lift into the hips, and exhale, lower your heels into downward dog. We'll just stay here for a couple of breaths, and then we're going to repeat that sequence. And one more breath here. And then bringing your shoulders forward, knees to the floor, lowering your chest down, flatten out through the feet, elbows in. Inhale, coming up through cobra. So air and ether are connected to heart chakra and throat chakra. So we're going to do some of these chest openers and throat openers throughout our practice today. Staying here for 2 more breaths. And exhale. Slowly lower down. This time with the feet flat, knees to the floor, hips to your heels, forehead to the floor, and bring your arms alongside your body in traditional child's pose. And just let your shoulders be heavy. Allow them to soften. Good. And taking your hands out in front, lifting up straight into downward dog this time. Again, checking your fingers and thumbs are spread nice and wide. Press the floor away. Lift into your hips. And just holding there for a few breaths. From here, when you're ready, walk your feet forward to meet your hands. Bend through your knees, feet hip distance apart, and lay your belly over your thighs. Let your head hang heavy. And just sway your upper body from side to side. Relax. And come back to center. Fingertips to the floor, keeping your knees bent while we warm up. We're going to inhale, raise the chest and look forward into a flat back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, slowly start to straighten the legs just a little, and either fingertips to the floor, hands sliding up your shins, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, just very gradually increasing into straight legs and flat back. Hold once more. Inhale, last time. Flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend through the knees and slowly roll up, 1 vertebra at a time. All right, we'll get into some sun salutations now. So standing at the top of your mat, bring your hands together in prayer position in front of your heart center, remembering to modify throughout the sequence if you need to. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, folding forward, bend the knees if you need to. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, jump or step back into plank and lower down. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Holding here for 3 full breaths. Nice and long through the spine. And if you're feeling like you're feeling a bit tight through the back of your body, try bending your knees and prioritizing that length from your hands through your shoulders, up your spine and into your hips. Inhale, raise your right leg up. Exhale, step your foot forward. Drop your back knee down and flatten the back foot. Inhale, raise the arms, soften down into your hips. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back into plank, lower down. Inhaling, up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, raise the left leg. Exhale, step your foot through. Flatten the back foot, knee to the floor, inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back, lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale, downward dog. Looking between your hands and jumping or stepping your feet forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to do 2 more of those. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Taking your time and moving with your breath. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Jump or step back. Lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale, downward dog. Holding for 3 breaths. Taking your time with each breath. All right. On your next inhale, raise the right leg. Exhale, step it through. Back knee to the floor. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back, lower down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, float the left leg up. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back, lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale, downward dog. Looking between your hands and jumping or stepping your feet forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale. All right, one more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Jump or step back into plank. Lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale, downward dog. Holding here for 3 breaths. You probably already start to feel your tissues warming up, since the glutes are great for that. I love me some warm tissues. All right, and when you're ready on your next inhale, raise your right leg up. Exhale, step your foot forward, inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back, lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back into plank, lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale, downward dog. And look between your hands and jump or step your feet forward. If you're not familiar with jumping all the way forward, you can do a bunny hop halfway and then all the way. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart center. All right, let's take a couple of breaths here. Take a sip of water if you need to. And then we're going to start flowing with some standing poses. Whew. All right, it's hot yoga here on the Gold Coast. All right, let's recenter, grounding your feet into the floor, shoulders down away from your ears, Tadasana. Bring the hands to your heart center and inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend through the knees, sweep the arms down and through, coming into chair. Options for chair pose are to have your arms at shoulder height or hands to your heart center for the full pose, taking your arms up alongside your ears. And just try to draw in through your belly and get nice and long through your front body, nice and long through your back. See if you can sit down just a little more. And exhale, release. Hands to the floor. Oh, we're going to do our forward fold, inhale, flat back, exhale, fold, jump, step back, lower down. Inhaling up. And exhale, downward dog. Holding here for 3 breaths. Really tuning into your breath now. So once your body is warmed up and you're starting to feel familiar with your downward dog, which usually does take a sun salute or 2 until your body feels comfortable in this position. Now that it might be at that point, you can really just anchor into your breath. Slow it down. Inhale, raise the right leg. Exhale, step your foot forward. Back knee stays up off the floor, lengthening back into your back heel, or modified version is knee to the floor. Inhale, come up into high runner's lunge. Navel drawing in, your core is switched on, and your glutes are squeezing in toward each other to stabilize your hips. Grounding down into that front foot and drop down into your front thigh. Shoulders down away from your ears, reach up into your fingertips. Good. Holding here for another couple of breaths. And on your next exhale, hands to the floor. Step back into plank, lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, raise the left leg. Exhale, stepping your foot forward. The same on the other side. Option to drop the back knee down. Otherwise, straightening that back leg, lengthen into your back heel. Squeeze through the hips. Inhale. Navel drawing in. And try to keep that front hip working back and your back hip reaching forward, so you've got nice square hips. Finding your breath, always coming back to your breath. Once you've created that stability with your physical body, coming back to your breath. And inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back, lower down. Inhale, up. Exhale, downward dog. Look between your hands and jump or step your feet forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. And then we're going to bend through the knees, sweep the arms, come up through chair. One more breath. And inhale. Come up to stand. Exhale. Hands to your heart center. All right. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, jump or step back. And lower down. Inhale. Exhale, down dog. So just checking these main points, that fingers and thumbs are spread nice and wide. You're actively pressing the floor away, lifting into your sitting bones, gently tilting your pelvis forward, and encouraging your heels down toward the floor. All right. So we're gonna have some fun now. Inhale, raise the right leg up. Exhale, step it through. Now from here, inhale, come up through high runner's lunge first, and then we're going to take flight. So you think of air and wind, flying off in the air and wind. No, but also just really trying to invoke some playfulness. So I'm calling it an arabesque. It's not an official yoga pose. Instead of thinking like a strong structured warrior 3, let's shift our weight forward. And then just when you feel that nice stability on one side, keeping that supporting leg a little bent, start to float that back leg up and just see how far it will go. Keeping the left hip rolling down, and express your arms back, open up through your chest, And if you can, taking your gaze up. And exhale. Lower that back foot down. Hands to the floor. Step back. Lower down, inhaling up. Exhale. Back into downward dog. Inhale, raise the left leg. Let's do the same on the other side. While I was giving you instructions, I had you hanging out and runner's lunge on that side for a little while. So we'll just take a few breaths here to make sure it's balanced. And already before we enter into the pose, start to take your mind there. You've just experienced the sensation on that side. Now let's prep the mind first, envision it, and then slowly start shifting into it. So taking your weight forward, finding that center of gravity, and seeing how far your leg will float up. Right hip stays rolling down. And then when you feel confident where you are, you can even go to a wall a little if you like. Up to you. Exhale. Release out of the pose, hands to the floor. Step back, lower down. Inhaling up and exhaling. Knees to the floor. Take your knees wide and toes together. And relax forward in child's pose. So take 5 breaths here. If you need to take a sip of water, please go ahead and do so. Probably won't be reminding you as much through winter to sip water, but just the peak summertime is really important that you stay hydrated throughout your practice and definitely after your practice as well. Tiny little sips can be really, really helpful. All right, from here, slowly come up, bring the knees together and lift back into downward dog. And look between your hands, jump or step your feet forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, either rolling up or reverse swan dive up. And exhale. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Jump or step back into plank. Lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale. Downward dog, holding for 3 breaths. Being nice and steady in the pose, then anchoring into your breath. All right, we're going to take a similar attitude and energy into this next pose. Inhale, raise the right leg up. Exhale, step it through. You're going to inhale and then exhale. Shift your weight forward, fingertips to the floor. If your blocks are handy, you might like it for this pose. We're going to go into a standing split. So don't even worry about what it looks like. You can use the blocks under your hands or gripping your fingertips to the floor, raising your back leg up. Modified version is to bend that standing leg and then just try and draw your upper body in toward your leg. And exhale, lower the leg down. Come up through high lunge, hands to the floor, step back and lower down. Inhaling up. This is our last balancing pose. Going back through downward dog, inhale, raise the left leg, exhale. High runner's lunge. Shift your weight forward, blocks under the hands if you like. Otherwise, reaching for the floor, getting nice and stable, connected to the earth beneath you, and raise that leg up. Finding that beautiful balance between using that grounding earth energy to allow you to take flight and move up through space. And exhale, release. Hands to the floor. Step back, lower down. Inhaling up and exhale. Knees to the floor in a short child's pose. Just taking a couple of breaths there. Whew. And all right, let's go Inhale, going back into downward dog. And looking between your hands, jumping or stepping your feet forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale. All right, inhale, raising up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, jump or step back. Plank, lower down. Inhaling up. Exhale, downward dog, hold for 3 breaths. Inhale, raise the right leg. Exhale, stepping your foot forward. Spin the back foot down so that the outside edge of your foot is parallel with the end of the mat. Move your front foot across so that your heels align with the middle of your back foot for warrior 2. Cartwheel the arms up. Coming into warrior 2 first. Take it back into reverse warrior. Just get a feel for that. And then we're going to come forward, take hold of your right wrist with your left hand, and then extend back. So you're really just encouraging that beautiful side opening. It's a nice little creative variation. Then inhale, lift up, and then switch the grip over, taking the right hand around the left wrist. Open out to the side. Feeling your lungs expand, open, inviting the breath in. Lift up and cartwheel the arms over. Hands to the floor. Lower down, inhaling up. Exhale, let's do the other side. Inhale the left leg up, exhale. Step the foot forward, spin the back foot down. And inhale, cartwheel the arms up. Coming into warrior 2 first. Taking it back into reverse warrior. And then coming forward, taking hold of the wrist and extending back. And come forward one more time, switch your grip and reach back. Nice, slow, deep breath. And when you're ready, exhale, release. Hands to the floor, slowly lower down. Inhale, exhale, knees to the floor. Taking your favorite child's pose variation, or I'll offer a suggestion, knees wide apart, big toes together, and take your arms down and through, threading your hands and arms through and turning your head to one side and relax. I'm going to stay there for 3 breaths. Got your head turned one side, and then turn your head to the other side for another 3 breaths. I'm just slowing down your breath now. And when you're ready, making your way slowly up and out of child's pose. Take your hands forward, lift back into downward dog. And looking between your hands and jumping or stepping your feet forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale. And now we'll flow down to the floor for seated postures. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. Fold forward. Inhale. And exhale. Jump or step back. Lower down. Inhaling. Upward dog. Exhale. Downward dog. Take your 3 breaths here. Now look between your hands, and we're going to do a soft bend through the knees and see if you can jump through to sitting. All right, so for our seated forward fold, if you prefer to use a belt, make sure your belt is handy. And extend the legs out in front of you for just a classical seated forward fold. Move the flesh away from your sitting bones and place your fingertips or hands on the floor. It's hot. I feel good. It's sweaty. And lift up, lengthen through your spine, lengthening into the crown of your head, flexing your toes back toward you. So this is the setup for the pose, because you want to maintain that length through your spine and then tilt forward from the hips. So folding forward from the hips, not straining your spine or lurching forward. So lots of length and then folding forward over your legs and either taking hold of your shins, your feet, your big toes, or a belt around the soles of your feet. So it might look a little more like this if you're using the belt. And once you're in that position, start to firm through your thighs. And this helps to relax through your hamstrings. And so we had all that beautiful, flowing, creative energy happening through our standing sequences. And it's really nice now to ground that energy with some more closer to the earth, static poses. Slowing down your breath. And just observing that natural connection between your breath and your mind. Anytime we find ourselves with a really racing mind, racing thoughts, we can slow down our thought processes by slowing down our breath. And just taking your time here for a couple more breaths. And slowly find your way up. And bring the soles of your feet together. Knees out to the side in butterfly pose. With the soles of your feet pressing together, just gently taking your hands around your feet, dropping your elbows down into the insides of your legs, and gently encouraging your knees down toward the floor, opening up and stretching through the groins and your hips. And one more nice deep breath. Exhale. Slowly come up and carefully extend your legs out to the sides. All right. Flex your toes back toward you. If this is feeling a little bit tight to sit like this, you can take a cushion underneath your hips or a bolster. Doesn't matter where your legs are. Before we go into a forward fold, we're going to take our hands behind us and just to work with that throat and heart zone chakras for air and ether, we're going to take it into a nice heart opener by rolling the shoulders down and back, cracking open through this heart center, and take your gaze up, opening up through your throat. Not being mindful not to strain through your neck. And when you found a comfortable position here, just really firming your legs, flexing your toes back toward you, staying really nice and active through the legs. All right, now keep your gaze up and walk your hands forward. Maintain that length in your spine, then fold, 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 and then relax your head forward. So wherever you come forward in your fold, maybe it's forearms or hands, wherever you are, just try to let your head hang heavy. And we'll just take a few minutes here in this pose. So another thing our practice is great for, with building awareness of that air and ether element, which is what can cause the racing thoughts when there's excess amounts of that. It can contribute to our minds being really active. When you are grounded in these sorts of static poses and you're kind of holding it for a little while, if you're starting to notice, I want to get out of here, I'm feeling really impatient, or holy moly, there's a lot of activity going on here, it can just give you that awareness that I am feeling a little bit spacey, or I am feeling a little bit vata. So awareness is empowerment when it comes to healing. When you can really identify what you're feeling and what you're experiencing, that's the key to being able to identify the symptoms so that you know how to treat it, how to balance it. So it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing to have the awareness of it, to notice it. It can just be a little bit of a challenge to sit with it sometimes. So you might start noticing also that your body starts to relax and open a little more. So if you feel like you've had a sudden sense of release or relief through your hips, you can fold forward a little more. We'll stay here for about another 5 breaths. Okay, slowly make your way out of the pose by pressing yourself up. Come back up to sitting and take your hands under your knees and draw them in together and give yourself a little hug. Releasing through your hips and your knees. Excellent. All right. I'm going to go into some back bends now. So if you like, have your blocks ready. We're going to be doing bridge pose and camel pose before we make our way down onto the floor, onto our backs. So have your blocks handy. We're going to go into camel pose first rather than bridge, mainly because I want you to have the experience of we're all warmed up, our tissues are nice and warm before they start cooling down. We're going to get into this back bend. So starting on your knees, have your blocks handy however you like. Some people like to use them on the outside edges of your feet. You just got to be really careful with the surface area isn't much. And if you're putting a lot of pressure into it and it starts to wobble, it can be a little unsteady. But you can use it if you're focusing more on the strength of the lift and you've just got that little touch point. So you're not collapsing into the blocks. It's just there to support you. Excuse my elbows. Have the blocks there if you need. The other option is to have your toes tucked under and reaching back through your heels. All right, so let's get started in this pose now. Hands to your hips first, lift up, lengthening through your spine, starting with your toes tucked under. And we'll take one hand back and slowly the other hand back. Now, if that feels too strong, just stay with your hands at heart center and just lengthening back through your spine, going as far as feels comfortable for you. If this feels pretty comfortable and you'd like more of a challenge, flattening out through your feet, press your hips forward, lift through the chest, opening up through your heart center, lots of strength through your arms as you press into your heels and lift up through your spine. And then carefully take your head back. You guys can keep holding there, but keep pressing your hips forward as you reach back. All right, and slowly making your way out of the pose, press the hips forward, lift the hands away, and then separate your feet wide. Drop your hips down. Just a reminder about mics being off, please, if you don't mind. And just take your hands forward, relax and soften. Excellent. All right. Now bringing your feet out in front and come all the way back onto your back. And just mics on mute, shoulders down away from the ears, bringing your heels in nice and close to your hips. Taking your arms down alongside your body, palms down. And tuck your tailbone, lift up. Lifting your hips, coming into bridge pose. Interlock your hands underneath your body and roll into the tops of your shoulders. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Press your forearms down and press your feet into the floor. Start to feel your chest moving in toward your chin. And imagine if somebody's got a piece of string tied to your sternum and they're lifting you up through that heart center, sternum area. Holding here for a few more breaths. This is a gentle strengthening exercise. One more breath here. And now start to release out of the pose by releasing your hands. Undo your shoulders, flattening out through the shoulder blades. And then slowly lower your spine down one vertebra at a time. Beautiful. Now first, before we do a counter pose, I want you to relax completely. Straighten your legs. Take a little mini Shavasana, turn your palms up. And feeling that support from the ground beneath you and lightness through your front body. And now engaging through the core, you draw your knees in, hugging your knees in, and just releasing to that lower back area. Take some small circles with your knees. Back in the opposite direction. Excellent. All right. From here, we're going to go into flower pose. If you don't feel confident with flower pose, please feel free to choose another pose that you might enjoy doing, like legs up the wall or a supported shoulder stand. We are going to take, because we've been doing a lot of opening through the chest and throat, we're now going to do a bit of closing through that area, which flower pose is great for. Bridge was a great warm-up for that. We're just going to take our hands under the hips. So if somebody's mic is on, if you wouldn't mind muting. Hands underneath your hips and lower back area. Kick yourself over, taking it nice and slow and carefully. And toes over you. And you're going to lift your hips up. Lengthen into your toes. So your pose might look a little bit like this. That's completely fine. As long as you're not straining your neck at all. The weight of your body is in your shoulders. You're lifting up out of your shoulders, lifting through the hips. And your legs are folding over your face, over your upper body. You either have your hands supporting through the back area or extending them out. And if you've got them extended out, pressing into your palms and lift through the hips. Do a couple more breaths here. Now you can just carefully roll out of the pose, or you can reverse out, same way we came in, hands to your lower back. And feet to the floor. Hands to the floor. Spine slowly comes to the floor. Hug your knees into your chest. And just as you hug your knees in, lengthen your tailbone down toward the floor. Beautiful. Extending out through your legs as a counter pose, coming into fish. So taking your hands underneath your hips, press down into your palms and try and zip your legs together. So your feet and ankles are glued together, flex your toes back toward you. Press down into your forearms and start to lift through the chest. Again, like somebody's got a piece of string tied to your sternum. And if you can, take your head back. One more nice breath here. And exhale. Slowly release. Release your hands out to the sides. And just gently rock your head from side to side. Excellent. Okay. So from here, I always like to invite my students to listen into your body before we wind down into our spinal twist and then Shavasana. If there's any little nook or cranny in your body that is craving a special kind of something that I didn't offer today, please go ahead and take a moment for yourself to just tune in to what it is that you need and spend a couple of minutes doing any poses, any particular stretches that your body is craving. So we've got 2 minutes for that, and then finding your way into Shavasana on your back. We'll go from there into some spinal twists. Okay, if you're ready to drop back in to finish off our practice, we'll take one last pose. It's actually called wind releasing pose, which is not very cute if you're a prude like me, but it's really great for targeting this abdominal region, the home of Vata, where excess air, wind can get stored. So we'll do the single leg version first, which is just to draw one knee in toward your chest, hugging that knee in, and give a little tiny little wriggle from side to side, and then change sides. And then bringing both knees in. So if you are ever experiencing a little extra air and ether on a more obvious physical level, you can practice this pose. It can be a great way to bring relief. And from there, relax. Straighten out through your left leg, bend through the right knee. And taking that knee across your body, placing the left hand on top of your right leg, gently encouraging your right leg down, and then float the right arm out to shoulder height and turn to look just toward your right fingertips. So from this position, just keeping your awareness predominantly on your spine, being careful not to strain in this position at all, and to increase the intensity, just encouraging your shoulder and your knee down toward the floor, softening through your belly to allow for the twist. And return back to center, and we'll change sides. straightening out through the right leg. Bend through the left knee, taking it across your body. Right hand to the top of the left leg, extending the left arm out at shoulder height. Turning to look just beyond your fingertips, soften through your belly, and then finding that nice sweet spot, your edge of a good, slightly, delightfully uncomfortable stretch. It feels good, but it's on the verge of feeling something else. Relax there. And slowly come back to center. Both feet to the floor, rock your knees from side to side. And then make yourself comfortable for Shavasana. So I'm going to sit up for this so I can guide you through the Yoga Nidra. And if you can, turn the lights out. Make yourself really comfortable. And lay with your feet slightly apart, allowing your feet to naturally fall out to the sides. Your arms are alongside your body with your palms up to switch off that sense of touch. And just wiggle your shoulders slightly down away from your ears and gently tuck your chin. And start to feel your body getting heavier and heavier. Feeling all the parts of your body that are in contact with the floor. Becoming aware of the entire front of your body. And feeling as if the entire front of your body is getting lighter and lighter. As if it's floating upwards into the sky above you. Now you can completely relax with absolutely no effort here. Or if you would like to engage our Vayu Mudra, you can simply bring that index finger in, hugging your thumb around your index finger. So as you lay in that position, just taking that subtle practice of mudra. The practice of Shavasana and Yoga Nidra at the end of our asana practice is so beneficial because it's where a lot of the benefits of the poses and techniques that we practice can assimilate within our body and mind. So it's a really, really important component. And it's really nice to be guided through it and just completely let go. So that's what I'd like to do for you now. As you lay there, all you need to do is focus on relaxing each body part as I mention it. And anytime your mind might wander away from the practice, without judgment, just bringing it back to my voice, the instructions, the sensations in your body, and just really gently guiding and containing your mind in that way. Starting by taking your breath and your awareness all the way down to the soles of your feet. Relax your toes from your big toes to your little toes. Relax the soles of your feet, your inner arches and outer arches. And feel your heels getting heavier and heavier. Soften into your ankles. And soften into your calf muscles. And feel your shin bones to be heavy. And relax your knees. All the muscles and tendons surrounding the knee joints. Relax your thighs, your inner thighs and outer thighs, the tops of your thighs and your hamstrings. Relax your left hip and your right hip. Relax your pelvis and all the muscles surrounding your hips and pelvis. Soften into your belly and feel the sides of your torso melting down toward the floor. Relax into your chest. Relax your ribs and all the muscles in between each rib. Soften into your lungs. And feel your heart center to be soft, light, and open. Visualizing your breath in your mind's eye as a healing white light circulating all of these internal vital organs, the lungs, heart center, your abdominal organs, your reproductive organs. Visualizing your breath flowing through and around these organs, bringing fresh prana, fresh oxygen and nutrients, all the wonderful things that the breath carries. Now releasing that visualization and coming back to your collarbones, relaxing your collarbones, feeling them broadening and softening. Relax into your shoulders, from the tops of your shoulders down to your shoulder blades. And then taking some extra time and energy into releasing that point between the shoulder blades that often carries a little wear and tear and tension, which is also the back of the heart chakra. It's taking the breath there, exhaling and releasing any tension, any stored emotion, Just trying to encourage your body to just let go. And now relaxing into your upper arms, your elbows and your forearms. Relax into your wrists, your hands, your fingers. See if you can become aware of the gentle prickling sensation of prana circulating your palms. Gently shifting your awareness to your lower back area. Feel your sacrum broadening and releasing. Relax your lower back, your middle back, your upper back, and your neck. Feel all the muscles either side of your spine softening and relaxing. Your head is getting heavier and heavier as it rests against the floor. And smooth out any creases in your forehead. Relax into your eyes. Soften into your jaw. And feel your lips to be softly touching. Relax your tongue. And relax your throat. Your entire body feels heavy and relaxed. You feel safe and warm. Now just taking the next minute or two to relax in this beautiful conscious awareness of Yoga Nidra, where you are in a state of deep relaxation, but still aware. Completely present. And just existing as you are, here and now, nowhere else to be, nothing else to do in this moment. Now starting to come back into your body, noticing your breath. Noticing the sounds around you. And if you are engaged in Vayu Mudra, releasing your hands Giving your fingers a little wriggle. And then starting to wake up your body by wriggling your fingers and toes. Gently rocking your head from side to side, taking it really slow for the first one. And then just kind of waking up your body again. You might like to take an overhead stretch, feeling out into your limbs. And when you're ready, rolling over onto your right side, making a little pillow with your hands, tucking them underneath your cheek. Just take about 5 breaths on your side, taking your time before coming up to sit in a comfortable seated position. When you're ready, sitting up, or you can keep lying down if you like. We're just going to finish our practice with some kirtan. So it's a form of mantra meditation where we sing the mantras, which are all God's names. And it doesn't matter how your voice sounds. It's really just about resting your mind and heart in the mantras. So I'll sing the mantra through twice, and then it will be your turn to sing it back to me. Because we're on Zoom and it can be a bit awkward, I'm just going to sing through the whole time. And you guys can join in as you feel comfortable, or you can just sit back and listen. So really just try to take the mantras in through your ears, into your mind, and down into your heart. Today we're going to sing the mantra Gopala, Govinda Rama, Madana Mohana. 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 Gopala, Govinda Rama, Madana Madana Mohana Gopalam Govindarama Madana Mohana Gopalam Govindarama Madana Mohana. Last time all together. Gopalam Govindarama Madana Mohana Gopalam Govindarama Madana Mohana. Beautiful. All right, just taking a moment here to just allow those beautiful mantras to resonate through our mind and heart. And taking a moment of awareness to just observe how you feel after your practice. Noticing any sensations in your body or openness. Maybe you're feeling a more free flow of energy throughout your body, which might make you feel a little bit more calm and relaxed, yet invigorated in your mind. And then closing off our practice by bringing our palms together in prayer position and bowing our heads to offer our respects to each other. And bowing our heads to offer our respects to the Supreme Soul. Namaste. Thank you so much for coming to practice today. So I hope that you had a kind of invigorating experience. If you are feeling a little too invigorated, because we were working with air and ether, and if you are somebody that is already a little bit predisposed to feeling a bit of heightened Vata energy, if you're feeling a little bit prickly, or if you're feeling a little bit active in your mind, you can take a little extra self-care time after your practice to have a nice warm shower, have a warm, calming herbal tea. You might even like to give yourself a little bit of self-massage or anything that can help you to just take some time to pacify your mind and body and make sure that you feel grounded. It's a really important practice after any yoga practice, if it's been led by somebody else, is to check in with how you feel after your practice and just notice if you are feeling balanced and groovy and ready to go, or if you feel like, oh, based on what I've been feeling, that actually felt like not necessarily the most balancing thing for me. It's really important to just, do what you can to make sure that you do feel a balanced sensation or a balanced experience after your practice. And that's just something you can take anywhere you go to anyone else's classes that you go to. Do whatever you need to do to get back into what feels like balance for you. So thank you so much. If you guys want to turn your mics on or videos on, if you feel up to it, I would love to chat to you guys. I'm just going to take my
Thank you, Sammy.
Thank you so much. It was really, really lovely to start the year off with you guys in this way. And I look forward to a whole year getting all loved up in the yoga space. How's everyone feeling?
Yeah, really good.
Good?
Good.
Able to float off to bed, hopefully.
Oh, I was nearly gone there.
Good to hear. Awesome. All right. If you, thank you so much. Yeah. So, okay. So I'm just going to respond to some of the comments here in the chat. With the mic, just let me know any feedback. I really appreciate feedback on the mic because I do try and do a quick skim and listen back to the audio to check. But the mic in a yoga practice, if you go like this, it gets extremely distorted and loud for you guys as I'm teaching, which is completely disruptive to your practice. So sometimes when we do our bridges or lying on the floor, I put the mic to the side. So as a way of trying not to distort, but yeah, if it's inaudible, let me know and I'll figure out another solution for that. Shavasana. Yes, like we need more of this in our life. So it can be really a time where you think, oh, I don't have time for this, I got to go. Or your mind might be telling you like, how long is this going to go on for? But that can just be a symptom that you need it really. Like it's a really, really nice opportunity. It's really only ever going to be 15, 20 minutes max. And if you think about that 15 to 20 minute time slot in the expansion of your week, it's such a short amount of time to really drop into that parasympathetic state with no distraction, which is so important for healing and rejuvenation. So do try and stay for that. And I do make it really luxurious for that reason. I really believe in it so much. And yeah, it's so important to have that as part of your week. So thank you so much, everyone. All right. Okay, guys, we'll sign off. I'll post the recording of this as well in both the Sattva System portal and also the teacher training portal, so you can redo it anytime. And you're welcome to bring family members too. So if you have other people in your home, you're welcome. All souls are welcome to come along to the classes at home too. All right, guys, I'll sign off. Thank you so much. Oh, Brahmi, you made it. You go on and have a wonderful day. She's in the US at the moment.